And welcome back to the WHHI Daily News. Heather Rath has joined us once again.
Hi, everybody.
For your monthly update.
Yes.
And we have a ton to talk about.
We do.
Heritage Week.
It's Heritage Week. Happy Heritage, everybody.
I like the earrings.
They're little fish.
Yeah.
Right? Lissy, Little Fish.
Okay.
So love her, love Little Fish Boutique, and love supporting local.
Well,
kind of like I love the Calabogie coolers that I'm drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Calabogie cooler. My
So Tony Bagnulio, local guy, has created an amazing drink.
It's very light.
It's very light and very fun to drink.
Yep.
So yes.
So well, thank you for that little
Of
plug.
course.
Now let's jump to the First Tea Banquet.
Yeah, so we had the First Tea fundraiser and community banquet this last couple of days ago in Sea Pines. It's always kind of like the kickoff to the Heritage. We honored 10 folks in our community, everybody from J.R. Richardson to Missy Santorum. The list goes on and on under the First Tea core values. We had a live auction that was very fun, and it was kind of the who's who of the Hilton Head area. And what was really cool is we were able to meet Brian Campbell. He's on the PGA Tour. He just won big down in Mexico.
Right.
His parents live at Colleton.
Yeah.
And so he came and was our featured speaker and was able to speak to the First Tea kids. John Farrell brought him in. And then I was able to snag a really great pic of myself with Karen Faree, the golfer Campbell, and John Farrell. So it was a great event overall, raised a ton of money.
And First Tea, I told you my grandson CJ is loving it.
Absolutely.
Just loves First Tea.
And Lynn King was the head of the event, and she did a great job. You know Lynn, she always does a great job.
Okay, so, but will you tell your quick story about your son at the Heritage?
Yes, so we were at opening ceremonies on Tuesday, and we have the most unique opening ceremonies on all of the tour because we start at the Liberty Oak and we parade in. We have the bagpipers, we have Scotty from last year as the winner. All of our electeds are there. It's really fun, and anybody can participate in the parade. So we're all sitting there before the parade. And Hale, my middle one.
And how old is he?
10. And so he goes by Hale here and Hale in Hawaii. So Hale is sitting there and he goes, that's Scotty Scheffler. And Scotty had like a team around him to like block him from people.
Like security people?
There was some security and then some tartan guys. Like Mr. Frazier was there. I saw Lisa Solka. So they were kind of like in a semicircle. But the point is, the circle is there so that people don't just keep going up to him. So my Hale goes and dips underneath, between the guy's legs, and he pops up right in front of Mr. Scheffler, and he goes, hey, Mr. Scheffler. And I was like, that's my son. Like, that is exactly what I would do. So he got a high five from Mr. Scheffler.
Cool.
And it was very sweet.
And you got a picture.
And I got a picture.
All right, that's really neat.
So cute.
All right, let's jump to Senator Graham was playing the Pro-Am.
He was.
And you said he's a good golfer.
He's a great golfer. Well,
he's
he
funny.
plays with Trump all the time.
Oh,
and they win mix. Yeah. So he plays with Trump a lot. But anyways, he was playing yesterday in the Pro-Am, and he is so funny.
That's what you said.
So for those that don't know Senator Graham, he's hysterical. One-liners coming out, one after another. And I mean, I've known that about him for a while, but I had some fairly new people that were walking with me, some state house reps and some other folks from industries around the island or around the area. And they were like, he is so funny. And I'm like, I know.
Well, that was really special that he was here.
Yeah, I love when he plays in the Pro-Am. It's fun to follow him. I mean, he was parring a lot. The back nine, he started falling apart, but then he pulled it back together. So I love walking with Senator Graham whenever he's in town. And, Joe Wilson was at the opening ceremonies. I think Clyburn's down here as a flying in out for the week. Good. So it's nice to get that delegation. Oh, and then also Mace. She was coming.
She was there.
Well, she is coming.
She's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what is this about Jeff Bradley and J.A. Moore filming a TV show?
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. I was out with some state house reps that are down here for the week, and we were wandering around the course yesterday with Senator Graham. And we ran into Jeff and J.A. Moore. So Jeff Bradley and J.A. Moore. So J.A. is from Charleston. Of course, Jeff Bradley is from our area. And they're filming a TV show with South Carolina ETV. It's all about kind of breaking bread.
I've seen, I saw that they were doing,
so they're filming at the Heritage, and they were, just meandering through. So we stopped and hung out with them. I took a great picture of them in front of the South Carolina Parks, Recreation, and Tourism Discover South Carolina sign. And it was super fun. And then they're hosting dinners. So that's kind of their shtick. And then they have community conversations.
Okay, we're running out of time
Oh,
now,
are we?
Heather. Yeah.
Okay.
Jerseys and dresses, hospitality,
Yes.
really quick. We got about 2 minutes.
Inviting, oh gosh.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm inviting everybody in the community to our Jerseys and Dresses hospitality house that is happening on Saturday. So Jerseys and Dresses is a great local organization. We had a big fundraiser in February, raised a ton of money for Eagles Autism Foundation, Sandalwood Food Pantry, et cetera, et cetera. And so we now have an 18 hospitality house on Saturday of Heritage. So it's donation at the door, and all the money goes towards all of our charities, and it's just going to be a super fun event. So I encourage people to come down.
Good. All right, let's just jump to this state. What's
Sure.
going on at the state?
Sure.
The tort reform for small businesses, the bars and restaurants.
Yeah. So this is something that, we really need to get pushed through this year. And we have, 2 different versions of the bills, and they're sending them back and forth. It'll go to conference. But most important, we just need to make sure that we have liquor liability reform, tort reform for these small businesses so they're not left on the hook. Bars and restaurants are closing because we don't have enough insurance carriers coming into the state. Weston has a great bill that he's been pushing on. That passed the House. The Senate is working on, the Senate sent everything back on their own bills. So we just need to make sure that we get this liquor liability reform done this year so that we have more chances of insurance companies coming into the state.
What do you think the chances are to get it done?
We're going to get it done.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. And then kind of to close real quick, anything on the local side, beach
Oh
renourishment?
my gosh, so much, yeah. So we have our beach renourishment starting in June. We'll talk about that later. Remember, we have to finish it by October.
Right.
And then on the horizon, we have Main Street, which we can talk about at another time. I was involved in that
Thank you.
transition. Sure.
It needs it.
4 years ago, but we're still working on that. Short-term rentals are obviously at the top of a lot of people's priority lists. And of course, we have North Point coming up, the rezoning for North Point, so that we can move that housing project along.
Okay, very good.
I know, it's a lot.
Always, but when it's Heritage Week, we just...
I know. I mean, let's talk about the social stuff.
Exactly. Thank you, Heather Rath,
Of course.
for joining us on this edition of the WHHI Daily News. And thank you all so much for watching. Again, happy Heritage. And we'll see you next time. Stay safe and healthy. Bye-bye.